I was born in New York. I'm currently attending a university located in a rural area. Due to the distance, I can't come home every week. One day, when I did make it home, I was met with a surprising scene. My best friend, whom I trusted deeply, was there visiting my mom. It was a confusing situation, but eventually, I found myself in a similar position. We live in a two-story house. We rent out the first floor and live on the second floor. It was a family of four: my parents, my younger sister, and me. However, my father passed away when I was in middle school. My mom couldn't do much for a while. I heard there was some insurance money left by my dad, which was meant to be saved for when we get married. My mom converted the leased house on the first floor to a rental. Our house is located near a subway station serviced by 2 lines. Although the house is old, my mom makes sure to regularly update the wallpaper and flooring. Receiving the rent every month has been helpful for our finances. My mom works part-time at a side dish store near our home. It's located at the entrance of the market. Her job involves preparing fresh side dishes early in the morning, packaging them in disposable containers, and handling the cash register. She also eats lunch there before heading home. Considering my mom's difficult situation, I applied to a national university in the countryside and started living in the dormitory. Since the school is far, it's tough to come home every week, and the bus fare is also a burden. The person living on our first floor is my best friend, Ethan. Ever since we became classmates in middle school, we've attended the same schools. We even studied together in the same study room during high school. Ethan lives with his mom. His dad works abroad. Ethan's family was well off until his dad made a risky investment in stocks, using their house as collateral, which led to their financial downfall. My mom and Ethan's mom, living in the same neighborhood, frequently visited each other's homes and got along well, referring to each other as sisters. After my father passed away and we were facing financial difficulties, I was contemplating converting our first floor to a rental when Ethan's mom also needed to move due to circumstances, and they ended up living on our first floor, paying rent. Ethan's mom works part-time in a kitchen at a nearby pub. I've somewhat adjusted to dorm life. Traveling 2 hours by express bus to school made it burdensome to come home every week. Although my mom wished for me to come every week, I preferred resting in the dorm. However, on the days I did come home, my mom prepared delicious food for me, including my favorite grilled fish and egg dishes, making me glad I visited. My mom would send messages daily, asking, "Son, when are you coming home? Are you enjoying your studies? Don't you miss seeing your mom?" Despite wanting to spend comfortable time with other friends living in the countryside, I made sure to visit home at least twice a month, considering my mom who was on her own. My mom always says it breaks her heart to know I might be eating cafeteria food or just grabbing something quick for a meal. Thinking of her, I picked up some pastries from her favorite bakery at the bus terminal. I was planning to surprise her when I got home, but for some reason, she wasn't there. Just yesterday, we talked over the phone, and I told her I'd be coming home and asked for a nice home-cooked meal. It was strange not finding her at home. As I stepped outside for a smoke, Ethan came out. "You're here? Mom had to rush to your grandma's this morning. Your grandpa's condition worsened," he said. "She had to leave in a hurry because of the train schedule and couldn't contact you." Through Ethan, I learned about my mom and called her. "Did my boy come home?" Your grandpa's been hospitalized with pneumonia. It's serious for the elderly. I might not make it back for a few days. Make sure you eat well and head back to the dorm, she advised. Ethan and I decided to just make some ramen at home. He mentioned how much he's enjoying school, aiming to work at a major hospital after 3 years of studying and training in nursing. We casually talked about my hope to settle in New York after graduation. Ethan's family and I would share the produce my farming grandpa sent over. Ethan's mom, a true New Yorker, was always grateful for the fresh ingredients and would share whatever she bought from the store, insisting on sharing if she had too much. She was the type to always return a favor. With my mom away, I told Ethan he could stay over, and we ended up having a few beers and getting happily drunk. Then, out of the blue, Ethan noticed a pair of socks hanging on the drying rack and said, "I bought those for your mom." "Why would you buy my mom socks?" I asked, puzzled. "Because your mom's pretty," he replied, causing me a bit of discomfort, though I didn't show it. It was off-putting to hear him call my mom pretty. After all, despite having me at a young age, my mom is quite slim and beautiful. I've often heard my dad joking about how he had to lock that down because of her beauty. Hearing a friend say that didn't sit well with me. That weekend, I went back to the dorm without seeing my mom. After the midterm exams, I went home again. It was her birthday, so I planned a surprise with flowers and a cheesecake without telling her. Upon entering the living room after unlocking the door, I saw Ethan's sneakers. "Mom, I'm home," I called out, and opened the bedroom door to find my mom and Ethan together. "Mom, I came without calling to surprise you for your birthday." Ethan saw me quickly, tried to fix the situation, and left in a hurry. I asked my mom what was going on. Last month, Ethan showed up at my house drunk, mistaking it for his own. It turned out that my mom was also under the influence that day, which led to the unfortunate incident. My brother usually gets home late from his tutoring sessions, so Ethan often ended up at our place. I was really upset and expressed my disappointment to my mom, who then promised she wouldn't see Ethan again. I remembered Ethan once said my mom was really pretty when she wasn't around, which made me furious to think my best friend could be involved with my mom. I left the house in anger and bumped into Ethan's mom right outside. It was awkward to chat with her, as usual, when she asked how school was going, saying it's been a while and how hard it is to run into each other, even though we live in the same house. I couldn't remember how I managed to get through the days. When I went back to my dorm, I didn't go home for a month after that. When the vacation started, I stayed at home. My mom took a part-time job at the market in the mornings, and Ethan was going to spend the vacation helping out with a painting job on a ship, thanks to a friend of his. It relieved me to think that my mom and Ethan would be apart for a while. I had planned to look for a part-time job later in the vacation and was enjoying my break by catching up on dramas I had missed. My mom would leave at 8 a.m. and return around 3 p.m., during which I would make myself a late breakfast, do some chores, and relax. One day, Ethan's mom came over with a bag and asked if I had some time. I invited her in, and she mentioned she's been studying for a skincare certification in the mornings. Since her son was out of town and she had work in the mornings, she couldn't practice, and asked if I could be her model for a while. I asked what I needed to do, and she said, "Just lie down, that's all." She prepared a basic skincare set, exfoliant, cotton pads, and towels. I lay down on my bed, and she began the skincare treatment. starting with cleansing and moving on to massage and a mask, which took over an hour. It was my first time receiving such care, and I eventually fell asleep, even snoring comfortably. She came every morning to practice, and I started noticing improvements in my skin. It felt clearer and more beautiful. We naturally became closer through these daily sessions, and I got to hear stories from her past. The uncle visits once a year, and I heard he's been saving up little by little. The aunt dreams of opening her own skincare salon. One day after getting certified, while taking care of my face meticulously, she said, "I've never seen such a handsome man in my life." Trailing off, that day, we became one. She was grateful to see me healthy every day. Thanks to me, she passed her skincare certification practical exam on the first try and was overjoyed. We met almost every day until the vacation ended. When the second semester started, I went back to living in the dorm and kept in touch with Ethan's mom personally. She had become more beautiful, perhaps due to her skincare knowledge. She kept busy working in the kitchen at a pub and doing part-time work at a local skincare salon in the mornings. My mom and Ethan have no idea about the relationship between Ethan's mom and me. I know I've been a great support to a lonely woman without a husband. Our relationship continued for a while. I no longer care if Ethan's mom is seeing anyone. Ethan and I are in the same boat now.